Hello protest followers, and welcome to my very first Drivestream. That's right. We are trying to get into Sydney City, and we have for a while. And this checkpoint, yeah, good day boys. Hey guys, how you going? How you going? No Barnsey? Hey guys, how you going? Good on you. Wow, this is a carousel of police. How you going? Good. Just give everyone a thumbs up on the way in. This is our new city. Now, if you want to get in here with a ride share today, you're banned. Don't want to check me. Oh, he doesn't want to check me. Oh well. See you guys. Off you go. There you go. Not really. Oh, he got stopped. Guy in the ute. Could be dangerous. Could be dangerous. All those construction materials. And we're on our way. There you go. So I'm starting this protest stream very early. This is going to be boring. If you were hoping for action from the get-go, I'm sorry. This is going to be a drive stream first and foremost because I was waiting to get through that checkpoint for quite some time. And you can see our Western distributor is quieter than normal. That said, they're not stopping everyone. It was a pretty casual RBT for those who caught that there, and I only saw one vehicle stopped. That said, we could face another checkpoint closer in. In the meantime, enjoy the vista that is a wonderful city. Public transport services have been limited to get into the city. If you want to take an Uber or a rideshare to get into the city, no go, you can't. Major roads like that one have been closed. Yes, this might be another protest, but I think you're only going to get a handful of people today, and they're going to be picked off one by one. Protest is meant to begin in 25 minutes. You're not going to see anyone of significance. Only the most minor people there for the most determined moment will be. So, again, this is a drive stream on my way in. Most of it's just going to be talking to you about things because there won't be much of a protest today, ladies and gents. I really don't think there will be. A lot of roadblocks on the way in. I'm expecting another roadblock when we get off on the King Street exit. And probably another roadblock as we get closer to Hyde Park, where I normally park, which is why I'm going to park closer back. I'm going to park in Cinema Centre and check out Town Hall. If you're hoping for a busy, action-packed live stream, I'm sorry, this is not going to be one. This is going to be quite ordinary. Last protest stream was jam-packed, end to end, go, 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 from beginning to end. This will not be. Why aren't the police arrested? Or who are you going to call? The police? They are the police. Police can't arrest the police. It's like Spider-Man arresting Spider-Man. It just doesn't happen. Yes, Stacey, it probably is a police setup. Don't go to this protest unless you want to be arrested. If you want to be arrested, this is the place to be, baby. If you like fines, if you like getting in police people's faces, if you're a ruffian like that, this is where you're going to be. Road Rule 3000. It's old video games. Need for Speed. We're not going to reenact that right now. Oh wait, it's probably still going. Milking the franchise for all it can. Where is the army? Army might be here. Don't know. We're going to see when we get up to, if you see that sign where it says city. That's where we're going. To the city. Just obey the rules. Well, easy for some people to say. A lot of people don't like rules. For those who aren't familiar with Sydney, this is our Western distributor. I think it was 71, the construction of the distributor here, this section started. This replaced a lot of warehouses and docks, a lot of wharfs. King Street Wharf was an important one. You can see our new international towers over there. Now, Sussex Street, where do I need to go to get to Cinema Centre? Cinema Centre is once. I think I'm going to have to swipe away. You know what? I'm going to try and get to my normal car park, which is on the far side. I'm going to try and get to my normal car park. So far, not too many police checks. There we go. So if you were interested in what the city was looking like today, this is a drive stream of what increasing the lockdown one city looks like. Less people than I'd normally expect for this time of day, a lot less. Ooh, wow, this is a cold. Oh, this is a, look at this. This is a cold feeling city right now. Oh, here's a group of boys. There they are. Looking out for things. Give them a wave. There you go. Yeah, not a lot of people out. Wow. And I mean, even between COVID lockdown and not, I mean, last week and this week, this is, yeah, pretty spookily cold. There is no law, there is no presumption. Well, first, there's order. And you can't have laws without order. And that's what the police want today. Hopefully you all get arrested. Thank you. And smacked with a 10G fine. Oh, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Look. It's conveniently army not due until Monday or Tuesday. They're late. Just like the Americans in both wars. See if we can turn this around and have a look at the no, there we go. Harbour Tunnel closed, yeah, I'd believe that. Protest was organised by the police themselves, I'd believe that. I actually think the protest was organised by just some guy with a graphic design tool. Now we're coming up on Hyde Park now, so I'm going to go slowly, and you can see people are messaging me. I don't really want to be messaged right now. A few different groups. It's not the shock and awe. Hey guys, it's not the shock and awe that I expected. Yeah, okay. I expected full riot gear, Melbourne style. This is beat cops, jumpsuits. I don't know, there's a guy getting detained in a corner over there. I don't know if you can see that. You're getting asked a couple of questions. I don't know if he works in here in the cities, but you're just being asked what's happening. Could be working for the officers or not. Who have we got? Have we got a CO somewhere around there? Can't really tell who that is. Right, command vehicle, transport management's here. Big barriers north to south on Hyde Park. Mounted. A couple of units are mounted here. Plenty of plainclothes. Plenty of plainclothes hoodies around. That's it. There you go. Gonna head into my normal car parking space. Plenty of runners around. Exercises. Again, if you're just tuning in now and expecting an exciting live stream, I'm sorry, this is a drive stream. This is a quite ordinary, boring. I don't expect more than a handful of people who turn out, and the most latched-on ones who just should have known better and stayed home, and they're going to get all up in officers' faces and whatever. In case you're wondering why I try and wave and say hello to every police officer I can, first is to just try and recognize, hey, we're both humans passing each other. I actually like doing that with normal people, not just officers. But if you're someone who doesn't want the... Oh. Okay. That's my go-to car park. This is an outrage. These lockdowns have gone too far. That's it. I was fine with it until my favourite car park has been closed because of the protests. That's it. I'm a rioter. I'm a protester. You've closed my favourite car park. That's it. I'm out in the streets. I'm getting the Molotovs. Where am I going to park now? It's every city protest I go to, I park there. I've only not parked there for just one. Oh wait, there's street parking. Oh. Okay. All right. I'm going to put the Molotovs away. Molotovs down. All right. We're just going to wind it back. We're going to have some street parking because no one's in the city. There's unusually street parking, and it's probably going to be cheaper too. All right. All right. All right. Wind down the rioting. See how easy it can be? You can understand. I can relate to Antifa now. Getting out there and burning things. Except unlike Antifa, I'm about to pay for my parking. Isn't this an exciting protest live stream? Yeah, what did you do this weekend? Well, I watched a guy go and pay for parking. Aren't you glad you're watching this on a Saturday morning? Alright, viewers, how long am I going to be here for this protest? I think a bit more. Credit card, a bit more. Yeah, a bit more. Isn't this thrilling? $17? This is more expensive than the other one. I'm not going to be here till 3 p.m. Before I put the Molotovs away, see how much expensive the parking is. That's right. I'll set the parking machine on fire. And serve the... That'd really show the G-man, wouldn't it? That's right. Please don't set parking machines on fire. This is not an incitement to violence. Oh God, I'm inciting people to violence by encouraging them to get upset with parking fines. I just stop talking. Come on. Come on. Oh. Boop. 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 Guys, aren't you glad you tuned in for this? Oh, come on. Yes, it's a trap. Maybe it's just a scam to try and get us to pay for an hour and a half. I think I'll be here for an hour and a half. There we go. This is all the stuff of a protest that you don't get to see. That you normally... No. You don't get to see. The very ornery paying for parking, driving into the city, you know, getting the gear ready. This is an angle you don't normally get to see. This is my gear backpack. That's something you don't get to see often. I had to replace this after last week. So she goes just here. This is what you normally get to see from the other side. You got your battery on there and a video light. In about 10 minutes. There's a GIF meme in this. There's a GIF meme for everything. There is a GIF meme for everything. And I love GIFs. GIFs are the future of political campaigning. Put my hard hat today. Partially because I don't like getting rained on. Yeah, I really don't expect a lot of people. Big camera, goes on the hip. Big iron on his hip. If you're expecting an exciting protest live stream, this is not it. There's my 360 that sits over my head. Because you can't always know where to get a camera, and away we go. Back on. Now we don't unshield the 360 till later on, and here's where we begin our exercise. Everyone ready to run? And so we begin. Oh, hey, there is something kind of spicy I can share with you while we go. So you know that new strike force the police set up? They chose the name Seasoned. I put something for them. Brought some seasoning to keep the vampires away. It's quite apt for St. Mary's, don't you think? Maybe I could use some too. Let's put that mask on now. Makes people feel a bit more comfortable when you see them. Welcome to Hyde Park. Do you want to head on in and see what's inside? Because I think it's going to be a parade of police enforcement. Say a prayer while you're there. Well, I could take a knee. Well, I said. I expected more, so let's have a peek from across the road before I go over there and people start giving me questions. Go over there. So, what do we got? We got 5-man teams, mounted units. Ah, that's not one you always see. We haven't seen that since Mardi Gras. Bike patrol. What do we got? Welcome to Hyde Park. Bike patrol. Good day, guys.
Hey, how you going?
You want to have a chat with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sure. How you going?
Good. you have any ID there with you?
Yeah, sure. Let me pull it out for you. Just so you know, live streaming while I'm here.
No problem.
Oh, I'm the one who's got attention. Oh, good. Since I'm live streaming, yes, that is my address on the ID. G'day, guys. How you going? Oh, everyone wants to talk to. I'm the only one who's turned up to stream it. Yeah, yeah, I did get the memo.
What brings you to the city today, then? Obviously,
I live stream protests.
Yeah.
All kinds of protests. Do you want to see my press pass?
Are you aware of the current pandemic orders?
Yes, I am. I'm here on an essential job as part of my media duties. Do you want to show you? Yeah.
Thanks, right. I got the license number. 147.
Well, I'm just going to talk over the top of him talking over my license number, and I'm going to be like, hello, everyone. There's a couple of exercises in the park here. Bike driving. We had bikes, but from where I'm standing here, I can see about 40 officers. Pretty calm, pretty cash. How you going? But naturally, I'm probably the most interesting person they've seen while I'm here. So they're going to have a stop with me and have a talk. For those wondering, my press pass is just down there. Keep that where you need it. Tack pants, you need it. Got that? Did you have more questions while you? Oh, you're just going to check your. You got to check up.
You know, my body won't camera that's recording our
All good.
conversation and actions. Okay, do you understand that?
I do understand that.
Wonderful.
All good.
So obviously there's no protest going on at the moment. So
Nope.
What exactly are you live streaming?
There's a protest that was said to be held, like as you know, while you guys are all here. So part of my coverage, I'm going to run around so I can get some photos of that. And if there's not, I'll head down to town hall, see what's there, and go between the two, see if people turn up. It's just what I do.
I can tell you right now, there's no one around protesting at all. Okay?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're here to prevent that.
Yeah, sure.
We're just going to do some checks. Give us a bit.
Sure. Can I give you my card with all my social details so you can check up on them?
That's right. We know who you are.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or do you want it?
That's not bad.
If you got a card handy.
Yeah, sure.
Man.
They knew who I am. Nice. I always think, honestly, guys, I think of myself as just a layabout, ordinary guy with a stick. But people seem to like my coverage, so I just keep doing it. So I can hear my name going out across the radios. I'm not famous, guys. I'm not famous. I'm not. Well, I'm not enough that you know who I am. So
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
I can wait here. No worries.
yeah,
I'm in a hurry.
just hang here for a sec, alright?
Can do.
How long have you been doing this for?
18 months now. So, yeah,
And
I
you
enjoy
mainly
it.
cover protests?
It's pretty much all I do.
That's all you do?
If I can explain why.
Yeah.
Most of the newsrooms don't have the resources to cover protests anymore. They've been hollowed out. They're just after very quick, easy news. I do long-form 3-hour plus live streams of protests to try and get a complete picture of it that don't fit in 30 or 90 seconds. So that's the gap I fill. Yeah, okay. I am. I saw you last week as well. It was a tough situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure where your employment is.
I can tell you all about it if you'd like.
Oh, just explain it to these guys, mate. If it's not a legitimate employment, then you get to finish the question.
All good. Happy to explain about it. So CEO just came by and just said he'd seen me before, but you know, was happy to see that the office here are treating me well. And they are. I'm just trying to work out what I'm doing, what I'm up to. And then, sadly, he also did say, the CEO did go by and say, if it's not legitimate business, he gets a breach of the public health order. So, happy to explain about what my business is. Employment. Define legitimate employment. That's a hard one. Ah. So the officers just in front of me are trying to work out what my business is and what goes from there. I'll just take some calls to work that out. You're gonna look me up. It's the same CO that I saw at the top of Town Hall last week, and he was trying to negotiate with Joel Jamal and Romeo Georges, and he had the large radio, the black police radio, and he's trying to de-escalate the situation. And that's when he invited Joel Jamal and Romeo Georges up the steps, because the situation was rapidly escalating out of control. And Coffee was close by on the ground, but just to the north of Town Hall, that same CO could see that mounted police were starting to be harassed. They were starting to make charges. One of the officers had been isolated, and that's when he invited them up and said, hey, can you try and speak to the crowd and get them to go home? And I believe Joel Jamal said to that CO, let me speak to the crowd. Oh, sorry, yeah, please, anytime.
What happened last week? With that police officer?
So he was standing at the top of Town Hall steps. He's Mal. I've forgotten his name. I'm sorry.
Bully, I think it was.
He was standing up there with not the LRAD, but the large black box, and the big speaker. Someone in inner city hadn't charged it. Bugger. So he pulled out a cracked loudspeaker to try and aggress the crowd. No one could hear him. You know, thousands of people couldn't hear what he's saying. So that officer invited some of the people at the front who had been with Detective Inspector Coffee and said, come up and try and speak to the crowd to de-escalate the situation that had been rapidly getting hotter and hotter. Mounted police were starting to get harassed with bottles. One of the inner city guys had been detached from the crew and was starting to get harassed. I don't know if you saw the footage of that. And he said, come up and speak. And he was up there with Steggles and a couple of other officers just trying to manage the situation at the top of Town Hall steps. I can tell you more, but that's where he was.
Have you had any infringements yet?
No, sir, I haven't. No. My job's a journalist, so this is my work. This is what I do. Sure.
Thanks for the advice, mate. Yeah, no worries. Okay.
I've dropped a couple of emails to
There's just a
Sure.
couple of questions in relation to whether it's essential or whether it's official business that you are conducting.
Sure.
So we're making those inquiries now, and
Sure.
then we'll let you know what the outcome of that is, okay?
All good. So they're just trying to work out who I am. And this is a challenge that smaller news and media organisations have is, what are we doing here? I'm not 7 News. I'm not 9 News. What is it that I do, and is it legitimate? Bike Patrol just trying to speak with some of the central guys and just work out what's happening there. Guys, there's not a lot happening, so you've got a lot of officers just trying to make sure that a repeat of last week doesn't happen. And that's what most of this is just...
Just bear with us 1 second, Chris.
All good, take your time. So they're just trying to work out what...
Chris, there's your ID back.
Thank you.
If there's anything further, we'll contact you, okay?
Sure.
So we've got your details.
Police media unit's got my details. They've already reached out to me. I've had a visit from Seasoned.
Are you intending on hanging around, or...?
I'll be going down to Town Hall from here, and I might come back as well. I'm looking for the stories of the day.
No worries. Alright,
Enjoy.
on your ways.
Okay to go? Thanks, guys. Stay safe out there. See you guys. So, CEO's just trying to work out who I am, what I'm doing. Not an unusual situation in this. Just trying to work out who a smaller streamer, content creator is, and that's hard to work out. Are you just some guy who's come here with a Sony backpack to try and mess with people, or are you a legitimate journalist? The line has blurred so much that it's hard for me to tell you the difference between what a journalist is and what isn't. What is an activist and what is a journalist? I will say this, that most large news organisations blur that line themselves. Open the pages of The Guardian and you'll wonder, what is this? Independent Australia, is that journalism or not? So, welcome to Hyde Park. CEO, I didn't catch his name, I didn't want to look too closely. They're just trying to work out their side, have a bit of a powwow. They might come and pick me up later. That's what they do. I think every mounted unit there is in the city. So look out for droppings as you go. Okay. They got the helmets on this week because last week they were getting pelted. And one of them almost came off their horse when one of the horses was being assailed. And I don't mean Punchman, that was a different situation. Mainly residents in the city are here. So you can see a bit of that. Now, I'm going to move through Hyde Park and head further west towards the stations and exits. Because what time are we at now? We're just on 12. Have a look down here, you can see some of that. And we're now heading further west back to Town Hall Station. Out of the park. Now we're going to pick up the pace some because we want to get back to Town Hall Station because we're right on 12 o'clock. And if any protesters are going to be arriving, they're going to be coming out of the train stations now. Man, exercising? G'day, mate. Surely illegal in some way. Or maybe not, who knows? Hey guys. So that's North Hyde Park. South Hyde Park here has a similar number of staffers. And if we now look east towards Town Hall, there's similar groupings. Now I'm interested to see if we head to Town Hall Station, we're going to start seeing protesters coming out of the subway trying to make their way to Hyde Park. And that's what we're making a double time effort over there so that we don't miss the action. Morning guys.
What's happening, mate? Nothing happening?
Nothing happening! All over! Before it started! See you guys! If you're hoping for some action today, there's not going to be much. There's just going to be a few stragglers who might come out of the train stations. But I think transport may have got them before they came out. Yeah, guys. Wow, Town Hall. Same story. Same story at Town Hall. Guys from OSG there. Another load arriving from Sydney City. Good, good. You all right? Who do we have? Faces I've seen before, faces I haven't. So Town Hall Station looks closed. You got staffers, close that off. Nothing happened there. So if anyone is coming out of the train station to head to a protest, that's a no-go. We might walk in there and have a check out later on. EOS 1DX user. 2 1DX is really heavy. How you going? Roche is on the scene. He goes ID badge there. There you go. Good to see you again. This is 100 strong turnout. Is it 1,000 strong turnout from the police? Don't know. But it's certainly more than hundreds. Check out a freelancer there. Film camera, very nice. Good on you. Rolling on school film, not digital. So that was a lady there talking something about don't let the communists take over. I've already been asked. She was being asked what was her reason for being out today. If you're expecting an exciting... Hey guys. If you're expecting an exciting stream, this is not going to be one unless you're very interested in a police turnout. If you're interested in a police response to this, this is the stream for you. If not, probably isn't. We're now a block south from Town Hall on Bathurst Street. Hey guys. Got someone being stopped and asked just on this corner here. ID being inspected, having a look at your phone. Not going to get too much closer, but we see that is. Yeah, mate. Get to get stopped again. How you going? Chris here.
Good. What are you up to?
Streaming protests, that's what I do. I do spoke with Langford, and your Super Dunstan knows who I am.
Very good.
Anything else?
No.
All good.
Okay.
Thanks, Sarge. Chris Sargent again, checking who I am. This lady just there's just being stopped, and what could be an infringement being written out. He's writing something out. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. Yep. She's writing something out. It does seem that way indeed. So, won't hang around too long, that's how. Good mate, good on you. So head further down, west. Morning gents. Odin's here as well. And whenever you've got 1,000 people in town, you gotta stop for a snack. So, officer there just grabbing a snack himself. Now the question is, do we then head further south? Because if you wanted to make your way to this protest right now, this would be the main station to reach. I'm gonna have a quick look at this one. So he's holding a body cam on a tripod, and rather than on it. You've always got to use whatever kit you have available. The best camera you have is the one you have on you. Police media unit. Your officers need better cameras. A body cam on a tripod, not good enough. Would recommend an A7S II if you're on a budget. A7S III, very good. Nice zoom, 28 to 135, very good. Let me know if you need any other camera advice. Otherwise, I'll keep it to myself. Be happy to. If you're looking for serious protest action, this is not the place to be. This is just going to be serious police action. The protesters can't even make their way here. Train station closed. Ubers told they cannot drive people to Sydney City. Where last week, at around this time, this plaza was filled with thousands of people, angry, shouting. Acting Super on the steps stood up here trying to explain to the people that they needed to move on with a loudspeaker that wasn't charged. It wasn't charged. And with a broken megaphone. And he stood up here and he tried to explain to the people that filled this area that were getting increasingly out of control. You had mounted up to the north. Just in this corner here, you had an officer that got separated from his group and was getting harassed, things thrown at him, and he had to be extricated. Now, a period of peace. Still, order is returned en masse. So again, if you're hoping for a serious turnout here, there's not going to be a lot. One of the CEOs just here is... Oh, hold on, we're going to have another chat. Yes, another chat? Or yes, another chat. How you going? Sure. Sure. You want my press pass?
Oh, you're with the press, are you? Oh, thanks. Just open it up for me so I don't have to touch it.
All good.
No dramas, thank you. Okay. It's alright.
Anything else?
Nothing, no, that's fine. We're just
okay.
speaking to everyone, obviously, and
It's
had a few people coming to film the crowd. I didn't see the camera behind you, actually.
all good. One-man band, no budget for more. No. Fourth stop today.
Yeah.
Won't be the last.
No, it won't be, sir.
No, all good.
Especially when you're talking, I guess when you're talking, it really looks a bit more...
What's he up to? Go have a chat. It's no drama. I was just explaining what happened last week, that this scene was very different
Yeah.
a week ago.
That's right, yeah.
Um,
And I suppose, have you been around the parks and stuff today? Had a look? Yeah.
had a look at Hyde Park.
So there's a lot of us out, so...
Yes, no, there is. Already stopped and had a chat with Mal Lanyon. Mal Lanyon,
Yeah,
I think is.
I know him.
Yep.
Yeah. Lovely man.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's still feeling it from last week. I think
Yeah,
everyone's
a lot of
feeling
them,
it.
Yeah, and you know what? Like the majority of people are doing the right thing, so we want people to do the right thing so we can all get out of this sooner. So we don't want this sort of stuff happening like happened last week. So,
No, it was,
Yeah. Whereabouts are you from originally? Do I hear an accent?
kind of. I did live around the world actually. So for 10 years I lived in Dubai, Johannesburg, London.
Yes.
So a bit of an accent evolved because,
Yes.
mate, no one can understand what you're talking about when you put the Aussie accent on.
No.
What are you talking about?
So I spent time in London as well, and I worked with a whole lot of South Africans. And for 6 years, I didn't stay in one place more than 10 months. So when I
wow.
first landed here, I had the world's craziest accent. I could tell by the way we were talking, there was a little bit of something there. So yeah, I know what it's like to travel around and stuff. What's your favourite place to live?
Reading, just west of London.
Yeah,
I really
nice.
like that.
Nice. I lived in Dorking in Surrey, and it was
Yep.
quite quaint.
Yep.
You know, there was more pubs per head per capita of everyone that lived there, so it was good fun as well. But it wasn't like the hustle and bustle of the city. But
Yeah. No, it was lovely.
But then what got me is there's people that live there that never even gone to Paris, and it's like 99 quid on the train, and it's like just over the, and they never.
It's another
even
country.
Left, and you just go, what? Like I don't understand because I like to travel as well. So
It's been that way for hundreds of years.
yeah.
And in some ways, the people who stayed in the UK and didn't come here are the ones who didn't like to travel. All of those who came out
That's right.
were the
that's
adventurous
right.
sorts.
Yeah.
Speaking of adventure, I'm going to keep adventuring.
Yeah, I was going to
No.
say we might go so that you can keep doing your thing.
Thank you for the chat.
Yes, it was really nice to meet you.
Likewise. See you, Sarge. Bye. Oh, hold on. There we go. Lovely chat with Sarge there. Just wanted to get stuffed again and wanted to chat. I get that. It's just how it goes. So, I was in the middle of trying to explain that this was the scene a week ago of a very different image. This was where you had many of the Sydney City Command here trying to negotiate with a crowd that stretched from beyond we can see there to well beyond we can see down there. And they were standing back in this darkened area, which would have been deafeningly loud to the crowd out there that was screaming, yelling, and increasingly to the north, getting way out of hand, and trying to negotiate. And that's what they brought up two of the protesters. Who have we got here? Oh, it's the gentleman with the... Hello again. Are you well, mate? What are we carrying today? 5D with a manual focus. Well, pardon me. I'm live streaming. Can I introduce you some? No.
I'd rather not, but
All good.
I'll tell you where it's... Where have you been?
I've gone to Hyde Park, come here, seen nothing
I've
other
been
than
to
cops.
Hyde Park. Have you been over to the St Mary's side?
Yes.
You seen police horses in front of St Mary's?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I haven't seen a single protester, but I've seen plenty of people getting stopped and interrogated.
People being interrogated. That's the story, I think.
No, I'm gonna keep moving on though.
I'll tell you, there's a good street sign if you go halfway up Oxford Street to Taylor Square. They say police action in the city, and generally underneath it, there's a bunch of cops
Doing their thing.
getting a cup of coffee.
Getting a cup of coffee. Essential work.
Essential work.
I'll see you later, mate. When you cover a lot of protests, you try and get to know as many of the fellow journalists as you will, because it's like you're going to work together. You know, you're just getting to know everyone. So let's check on some of the comments while I make my way now back to Hyde Park to see what's happening there. So we're now crossing over the tram lines and heading back to Hyde Park, which is back in this direction. A couple of the offices here. Essential shopping, going boys. Stacks, essential supplies. You cannot keep this horse going on it. An army marches on its stomach. Although I think it was Patton that said the army marches on his feet. There is no protest. Yes, there is no protest. Correct. Crisis actors, all in acts, no protests. Now you know they lived overseas. Yeah, that was good. Health staff bored too. Yep, cops are bored. Yep, everyone's bored. Funny because they're not meant to talk to anyone when we're out. I don't know. Police... Guys, if you try and stop me from talking to people while I'm out, can't stop talking to people. That's why I do this job. Police talking to him, they go nothing to do, waste of taxpayers' money. Maybe so. At least I'm learning about cameras. Good! He was carrying a 5D Mark III with a manual focus. I think it was a Konica Minolta. Part of my job is to also explain not just the protest, but the people behind the protest. That includes the officers, that includes the media, how the protest inevitably gets framed, whether that's skewed one way or another. It always gets skewed, and it always gets captured using the most powerful tool that we have available to us in one society, which is a manual focus 35mm film camera. If you were hoping for action to be captured today, there isn't any. There's nothing happening. There's nothing here. I'm going to go back to Hyde Park, but I don't think there's anything there. I head to the south side of Hyde Park, which is where the... Is our first... If he's not ADF, he's wearing camo, and it's probably just camo. But it's a lovely hat. Maybe it's not ADF. Who knows? The police are like a big ship, though they are so great and driven by strong winds, empty doctrines. They're still being directed by a very small number. That's true. Like any hardcore organization, they have to take orders from someone. We're just going to double time it back to Hyde Park. What happened last week for a lot of the police shocked them. It absolutely shocked them to their core. Surprised them, totally unexpected. And when you're responsible for keeping order, your job is to keep order, not to have that order lost. All right, making our way back to Hyde Park now. Plenty of buses, not many on them. Some families, officers taking breaks where they can. Because they've been out here since early. They took the high ground early, and they can keep it that way. All the way to 3 p.m. So this absolutely is a dominate the streets response. To last week, which was by comparison a soft touch policing action for the number of protesters that turned out. Their intel just didn't work out. They didn't know. They didn't know how many were going to turn out. So now we're back in South Hyde Park. If anyone is being taken away, I don't see it. Another shock and awe. See one of the officers in charge, media here. Let's go and see who the media is. Is he going to stop me? Am I going to... How are you going? Another stop? Oh good, do you want ID or press pass? Yeah, we've seen each other before. We have. Oh, hold it so you don't have to touch it. Oh, yeah. You don't have a look at that.
You with them, are you?
No, independent.
Oh, too easy. Where are you from?
Discoveries. I live stream protests exclusively.
Oh, yeah.
So I was here last week. Hello. No, we haven't seen each other. Do you want to see any customer wants to have a look too?
That's okay, I'm sure.
Okay. Can I keep running on?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. See you guys. Stop number 5 in 25 minutes. Let's chase down these media guys and see who they're with. Public Order and Riot Commander found. So that's where the officers are here. We'll give them a berth. They don't want us to be seen too close because they're just trying to recap how they're feeling. Right. If you want to know a little bit about a protest, look for the blue sleeve, look for the red sleeve. Something I've learnt myself. Now, North Hyde Park, looking west, nothing. Looking east, nothing. Found another photojournal. Tough week last week, gents. Good week this week.
Yes.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Public Order and Riot Commander there. Steggles. I gotta say last week, when you're in charge. Let's have a look at who's here. Who is it? No, you're fine. 7, 9, 10. 10.
Yeah, yourself?
Independent. Guy with a camera. Discoveries.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. You leading the march? For the non-mainstream media?
There you go. I am leading the march for the non-mainstream media. I try to.
Tell the truth, mate.
That's exactly what
Make sure you tell the truth. No lies.
Avoli got messed up over that last week.
Absolutely, because he lies, see?
No, what about the union? One team, one jury.
Stop videotaping me.
See you guys. Guys there from Channel 10, having a bit of back and forth with them, yelling at me to tell the truth. That's normally what the non-mainstream media screams at the mainstream media. There's the mainstream media screaming at me to tell the truth. Look at Michelle Dunn over here, getting a beautiful photo op. Oh, geez, that's a beautiful photo. That's a beautiful photo she's going to get there. That is just gorgeous of what she's going to get. Oh, it's coffee. Hey Michelle, how you going? All good. You well? You well otherwise? Live streaming here, so I'll leave you to it, but it's good to see you. And your microphone works this week and no turnout? All well?
Yeah, all good.
How's the turnout been? All good. Alrighty. See you later. Nope, she doesn't want to be filmed. All good. There you go. No one there. So I have been reached out to by literally every department there is. And I just keep on telling them the same thing over and over, which is on my public live streams. Wow! Just spinning around, there's a big turnout here. And there's Michelle trying to capture what it is. Good. Stop number 6. Stop number 6.
What are you doing today?
Streaming protest, that's what I do.
Yeah.
There you are, sir.
Part of your employment, is it?
It is. That's what I do. Might actually take my jacket off now that I'm... There we go, hello. I'll give a wave. I'm gonna take my jacket off while you're doing that. So guys, heat starts to build up after you've been here for a bit. Oh, don't forget the spices for season.
Garlic for.
Pardon me?
Garlic for.
You ever heard of Strike Force seasoned?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I got a visit from them yesterday, and said another time I'll bring some spices for them. I like to laugh first and foremost, because as serious as the situation last week absolutely was, it needed to be handled better, because it simply weren't enough resources. We also got to smile at the same time when doing a serious job and visiting people at home. That is a lot better.
Not too easy.
Thanks, mate. See you, Constable. Interaction between citizens and police happening, just with what she can and can't do. Doing some shopping, just asking the officers what she can and can't do. Ran into a fellow journo here that I know reasonably well. She's brought out a A7R3 and an A7 II and the RX-10. I'll talk to you later. All right. Police talking to her, nothing to do, waste taxpayers' money. Well, what else are they going to do while they're here? They're waiting for a turnout of 5,000 strong, and they've got a turnout of 4 journalists. So, what are you going to do? There's nothing here. Everyone's waiting for something to happen. What are you going to do but stop someone? Because if you're an officer, you got to make sure that trying to stop someone. I'm going to go head to the east side. Funny, we're told to talk to not to anyone when we're out. That's true. There is no protest. That's true. Now, anyway, let's catch up on some more comments down here. You need peppermint oil for your mask plugging up. That's true. I need some kind of different mask. Police are protesting against freedom. Yeah, to a degree, that's true. Sure, yeah. Move out of the park. Well, that's where the police are. Looks like a police protest, true. Lovely day for a stroll to the park. Where's our flags? Yep. There's a lot of comments, and look at it about them and go back from the reading this because the word of gives them something to do. Yep, and they're stopping anyway. Yeah, Strike Force cooked. Well, yeah. Well, seasoning does help cooking. So we're now coming over from Cenotaph there. We're on the east side of the park. Another 2 groups at different locations there. And a lone person enjoying the sun. An older lady with a little wheelie chair. Oh, that's a lovely photo of some, hold on, I'll show you a couple of officers taking a break. Because what do you got to do? What do you got to do? And I don't fault him. I don't fault him one bit. Because what else are you going to do? Again, if you're watching this protest for something exciting, something interesting, I'm sorry to say this is just going to be walking around and taking photos of different police and a protest which is not happening. There's nothing here. There's no one here. You can't get into the city without driving past a road checkpoint, without going through a train network where you're going to get stopped and detained and asked what your business is doing on a train. You can't take an Uber because Uber's not offering services into the city right now. That said, there is Captain Cook. And there's a small but determined group in our city who doesn't like that. And about a year ago today, it was about a year and a month, about this time last year, that a group of a couple of hundred turned out with ropes to come and pull this down. Now, here we are again with another large police turnout for a different cause. Make of that anything you will. Is it we can say it's the police's fault, but are we becoming more divided in opinion, more determined to express our views, more protest ready? Or is it the police are more willing to? I think we are, because as we saw last week, the police turnout to a much larger protest was a lot smaller. I think it reflects us. The police kind of mirror a lot of our hopes and needs. If we look at large crackdowns of many different types, they've had broad public support. Dan's police turnout in Melbourne did not come out of nowhere, out of his office alone. There are a lot of people in Melbourne who supported that kind of response. If you hope for a different kind of response, it's kind of more up to you. So, I'm going to head back to North Hyde Park and see what's up there. A couple of guys with some cameras. And something I've learned from media streams is the guys with the cameras tend to know what's happening more than anyone else. Because the guys with the big gear, it looked bigger from a distance. Seen anything exciting? Yeah. Yep. What do you reckon? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It's like I don't get paid for that.
Stringer, freelancer. Bugger. So you've come out to try and find some footage to bring on back, and no footage, no pay.
Yeah.
It's a bugger. It's a bugger.
Well,
Good news is I don't get paid anyway, so I've just got a nice day out. But yeah, no, I get you. And unfortunately, this gentleman's got to lug around a large fluid head, a very large, heavy fluid head from Miller. Thought the camera was bigger from a distance, but
there's
yeah.
some more bigger cameras down there that you're after.
I'll go check them out.
Yeah, alright, have a good day.
See you, mate. Anyone just tuning in, if you are hoping for an exciting protest, there's nothing here. You're going to see a lot of me being stopped and detained and asked what my business is. You're going to see a lot of me talking to media and trying to work out what kind of camera gear they have. G'day, guys. And a lot of me walking and talking about ideas and reading out comments. You're not going to see any protesters today. You're just going to see the largest police turnout since APEC 2008. There's my speculation for you. Huge police turnout. And calm too. So they did not kit up. I haven't seen a shield, a baton. I haven't seen hard gear. No hard gear. No matter how far you look. I haven't seen a single piece of hard gear. Other than on Mounted. Mounted's got a couple of pieces of hard gear on, but last week they didn't. They didn't have helmets and face shields on. Partially, that's just part of what they need to kind of be ready for, because they were harassed last week. More exercises in the park than I expected. I thought they'd be dissuaded. But I think the police can work out. Yeah, there's my judge. APEC 2008 was the next biggest turnout. That's quite a nice look, isn't it? Another piece of big kit, wonder whose it is. A baby poodle has engaged and is overwhelming one of, I think it's Strike Force Raptor here. This is a successful counter-protest by the Dog Patrol. Distraction is overcoming the police commanders as they walk. No, the commanders have not been distracted by the canine counter-protest. We don't know what this dog's business is in the city. He wasn't asked. The police are letting the dog go without asking for ID. We really need to ask questions when dogs can roam freely at a suspected protest march without questions at all. He wasn't detained at all.
There was no question. They were just...
The dog is free.
There was no questioning. They were really nice.
Oh, of course. No, I mean the dog, of course. The dog is free. And there was a great interaction between the officers and the dog. And the dog is going free. Unfortunately, my humour of the dog being let free did not land with the owner, but the officers did get it, which was good. We're heading over to where the media scrum seems to be happening. And gathering. We're going to go and gather and have a look at that there. The dog has rights, that's true. No unlawful dog search has occurred. He was let free without any questions. Or she. Got to be careful to misgender dogs. Dogs do have pronouns. He or she. Yeah. About to go live over here. Going. So this seems to be where a couple of different... There you going. Well, when Mounted is giving up, you sure can say something. Mounted's going home. Don't know who that is, but don't know. Anyway, nothing happening. Nothing happening. When someone says, okay. He's been leashed. That's true. That dog was leashed. So he didn't even need to wait for a vaccine passport. The dog was already restrained unlawfully. We need to really ask questions when police let that dog... Probably wasn't even tested. If you can't get the humour behind this, guys, I don't know what to do. If you can't get the humour behind making jokes about a dog being detained, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. You just breathe and remember that dogs aren't people, okay? And we don't need to restrain and apply detainment laws to dogs, please. Thank you. Let's move on. Stage protest, people would turn up? Nope. Just what the government wanted. Okay. Is the army out in Sydney? I saw one guy in camouflage, but I don't think he was army. It is unlawful to mandate vaccines. Hey Chris, how do you get the media pass? Well, you apply for one and you go through a couple of application forms and you abide by a certain set of media guidelines. Ask him what dog it is. He was unhappy about me joking about the dog not being asked about his business in the city. So the owner, look, we'll just let the owner go by. Have Australia... Dog has more rights. Yep, cool. Dogs are the best people. Yeah, they're simple. Dogs are simple people. Just trying to get the right catch. The angle there. Incredibly nice background. With them mounting up. Leaving my commentary, thank you. Don't forget that this is partially an entertainment service. Because these streams are so long, we have to laugh at life. And you know what? I want to laugh about things where I can. I don't want to laugh about serious things where people get hurt or anything serious like that. But we have to laugh. One of the horses to go home, and he probably had this kind of angle when he was like, and here we are in the city to talk about absolutely nothing happened and would have dramatized the event as is. Whereas I'm all for the dog humor. Dogs first. someone going to set up an aperture light? If you're hoping for... No, they're having enough and going home too. Everyone's having enough. Yeah, that's the way. Yep, that's the way. That's the way. If you're just tuning in and hoping for something interesting to be happening, there is nothing here. There is an overwhelming police presence. I have been stopped and detained, is it 5 times, guys? Catch me up? Or something? Protest to happen tomorrow, is it? Well, a lot of people, I think this entire turnout happened, thanks for that comment there, John. I think this protest happened, or this supposed protest happened, because someone did the same and just came up with the idea and just suggested it, and it spread like wildfire and went on. I think that's all it was. I'm hoping to see someone being stopped and detained and moved on. There's got to be someone around. You can see media guys speaking with police there, having a nice conversation. Is he 7? Is he... Forgotten. You know it when you see it, anyway. Yeah, nice chat happening down here with police as well. Nice little shoulder, elbow bump. Pleasant chat, guys. So one of the COs here, I think one of the acting superintendents having a chat with one of the citizens about whether they had their vaccine done or not. Trying to work out what this is. Now this is where we come on where the regular protests, which were not like last week, tend to happen here. This tends to be where the calmer protest. Poodle was cute, love your humour, thank you. Common sense prevails, woohoo, good one goes, yes. I don't think there were too many outside of the real ruffians that wanted to see another protest like last week. Keep waiting media, someone might turn up. No, I don't think so. Love you, my brother, and so does the 5'8" texture. Oh, thanks, guys. Those cops must go through some grueling training to be able to walk through the poodle decoy. Steel constitutions, thank you. World Health Consultants. I can't say that on Facebook. Check what you say on Facebook. Start yelling, here come the protesters, what's more panic? Come and help me, Deborah. Come on down. Come on down. I will help you do it. I'll even help you find someone with a megaphone so that you can do that. I will help you. Oh, dear. Police would have been working anyway, waste of taxpayers' money. I think you'll find a lot of people here on overtime or otherwise on different shifts. So, yeah, nice business. Just go home, mate. You're a troublemaker by being there. Absolutely, absolutely. These guys are troublemakers too. Look at them with their cameras. Absolute troublemakers. Starbucks is not anyone at the station. These stations are closed. I'll head back to the stations in a minute as part of my loop. But these stations are closed. You can't leave the station. You can't get into the station. No one in, no one out. Why is it there is an overwhelming police presence? No need for it, because they don't want what happened last week to happen again. There's a police officer on every corner, on every area, on every street. So, yeah, there you go. Come back the other way. Give them a bit of a gap. A lot of ways to read those, yeah. This is how to frighten people. Yes, fear is an excellent motivator on trying to keep people in line. What else have you got? If you want to keep people in line, that's just what they do. I'll point out here the main kind of command rally point is behind these fences here. So you've got many of the command vehicles up there. And yeah, doing their thing. Why did you not get an infringement notice over 5 kilometers? It's actually within 10 kilometers of where I am. I'm a journalist. I cover protests, and this is a protest, so this is what I do. Yeah, off we go. Set up, yeah. Informing the people. Try to inform the people, yeah. As most people say, as a journalist, they're unbiased. No, I have 2 agendas. I'm pro-protest and I'm anti-mob. I don't like mobs. I also like protests. Balance the two. A good protest is not a mob. and a mob is not a protest. Work it out from there, you know, balance the two. Oh, it's the dogs! Is everyone keeping bingo at home? Oh, this is not a poodle. These are not poodles, and these do not get pats. They're good boys, but they do not get pats. Who's a good boy? As they're good boys. They're good boys. But do not pat them. Yep. Yep. I wonder if the dogs have had a COVID test. Can dogs get COVID? I don't know. Possibly. Look at Michelle Dunn getting the staged photo ops. Good on her. Look at her. Amazing. Look at her go. Is she going to get the dogs to sit as well? She might, guys. She might. No, the dogs aren't playing. One thing. All right, we're going to head back to Town Hall. All right, here's one for the comments. Where do you want me to go? Because there's absolutely nothing happening. I've been to Town Hall Station. I've been to South Hyde Park. I've been to North Hyde Park. I've been to East Hyde Park. I can enjoy the outdoors. Yeah, sure. But if you're hoping for if anyone was hoping for some kind of excitement today, it isn't there. I found hard gear. At least one element of hard gear. 2-foot long batons. 3-foot long batons. While he's not wearing helmets or guards, they didn't have them last week. Where do you want to go? Home. Thanks, Brad. Thanks. Or maybe just looking out for... Well, I'll come out here. Might as well look at something while I'm here. Are we even past an hour yet? We're at 47 minutes in and I've seen nothing. So I generally keep my protest streams to about an hour and a half. So what do I say? Have a beer? Can I drink on camera? Can you go to a pub? All these questions. What is life? Can you go to a pub now? I don't know if you can go to a pub in the city. Yes, you are outside the 10-kilometre radius, no doubt. So, interestingly, coming to this protest today is not a breach of the public health orders, but going to somewhere further out, certainly to a friend's place for a cup of tea, would be a breach of the public health orders. TOU present? No, haven't seen him. Go nick a baton. No. Who said that? Nick, come here and I will film you as you nick a baton. Ratings first, always. If you're hoping for some interesting, exciting live stream, I'm sorry to keep repeating this, but I think a lot of people are coming for a protest. There is no protest. The only protest is a blue turnout. Pat a police dog. No, they're good boys, but you can't pat police dogs. Well, not if I want my hand to. Pubs are closed. Well, there you go. I don't know. I didn't know. I'd start asking people what they think, but I don't think I'm going to get a great response. This guy, I might ask. Excuse me, mate. Have you heard about the protest today? Can I ask you about it? I am live streaming though. I'm not going to pop it on you unless you're okay with that.
What's the deal? Like, are you a reporter or are you private? Like,
that's me. And they want to know what's happening because I've spent the past 45 minutes. I put a camera on me, and I spent the past 45 minutes trying to work out what's going on today. So, yeah.
Yeah, as in I can only tell my personal experience, but there's been police here like nothing else. I've not been wearing a mask, and just by the way, for anyone who's interested, I've only worn a mask for a cumulative total of maybe like 5 seconds through the whole coronavirus period in both lockdowns. No action has been taken against me, so it's very chill. There's a lot of like theatrics of enforcing, but it doesn't actually happen. But in any case, I've been walking around and...
Shall we continue exercising?
Yeah.
Tell me about your exercising experience today, please.
Just a lot of police around. I spoke with the medics from the ambulance just down there recently because they seemed a little less threatening. And they basically said that all of this is preemptive in case there is actually a protest.
Certainly a shock and awe after last week. A response after last week of shock and awe seemed like what they're looking for because the police were genuinely surprised
I'm interested, actually, what you can offer me in terms of just, you know...
Snacks?
Snacks, yeah, of course, that's what I was thinking.
Right,
but
yeah,
also
we can-
information.
Okay. Well, look, you can have one or the other. You want the information?
Information.
All right, information. See, another guy, I would have picked the snack. I really would have. But he's gone for the information. Tell me what you'd like to know. Happy to.
Well, look, a lot of why I don't wear a mask and why I wanted to go to the protest is because I feel like this is government overreach, and from the research that I've done into the coronavirus and PCR testing, it looks like it's murky at best for how valid all of these measures are. But you seem pretty passionate about it yourself, so do you have any hard evidence that proves for it or against these enforcements?
Okay, wow. Okay, big question. We've talked about, we'll cross this road during exercise. We've talked about the tests, we've talked about the virus, we've talked about also the police response for it.
Yeah.
Can we keep it to one thing, which is while we're here, the police response to last week? Otherwise, it's such a big topic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And hey guys. So, police response. Last week, I streamed last week's protest. I was kind of surprised by what I saw. Had my phone screen broken on my other phone.
By someone?
Yeah.
Right.
Guy came up to me and was just like, "Tell the truth," and bashed my phone. It's just how things go when you've got a lot of angry guys at protest. So it got pretty out of hand, and for others it did as well. And the first commission for police is to keep public order.
Yeah.
Without order, you can't have law. You might think it's law and order. No, it's order and law, because laws are just paper. Order is policing the streets, making sure everyone can follow those pieces of paper, get them into courts, hold them accountable. Now, is what we see here proportionate? Because anything with policing needs to be proportionate. I would say last week was underproportionate.
Yeah.
There weren't enough boots on the ground to make sure that the crowd stayed orderly.
Yeah.
There is no crowd this week. So I would say this is not for a crowd. This is for public consumption at home.
Yeah.
This is to show people, this is how many boots on the ground we can get there. This is what we can do to a city. We can shut down roads, we can shut down train lines, we can shut down Ubers, we can shut down everything if we want to.
Yeah.
And remember that we have the capacity to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. As in, I've given myself a bit of a philosophical education over the past few years. That's not my, my normal remit. It's just my interest. And it's interesting thinking about the whole existence of government and how the concept of authority is almost always reinforced by violence. Violence being the violation of rights. And so, before any of this happened, I was already opposed to the idea of taxation and to state control of really anything.
Libertarian.
I would actually go so far as to say anarchist, but that's a frequently misunderstood word.
Always. Which is why you're a member of Antifa, aren't you?
I'm not actually.
You're not. How can you be an anarchist but not a member of Antifa? They're fighting for your anarchist rights.
I just want to figure out things by myself, and I want to do things myself before I attach myself to any group and start, adopting other opinions. I want to make sure that it's entirely myself that is forming a strong discipline. But anyway, why was I saying this? I think that people are becoming more conscious of the ways in which we are controlled. Sometimes it's very blatant, like fucking dozens of police around us right now, or sometimes it's in financial means. But you can do your own research on that. I think that this is sort of in reaction to people just no longer complying with control.
And there's a lot there. I mean, this year has been a test for nations around the world, governments around the world, in how much control to apply for people's own best interests. Because it's always in people's best interests, and we always think it's in people's best interests. How much force to apply to someone is too much, and these kind of bigger picture philosophical questions that in the middle of a pandemic we haven't had the time to discuss, to debate.
It's interesting that you use the word force and not violence, because force is the medium through which will is imposed, but violence is actually force that should never exist because it's violation of rights. And I would say your right to free speech should never be impinged, and so any force used to stop freedom of speech is in fact violence.
Okay.
So I would see.
What about deplatforming off Facebook? Should Facebook be forced to platform your speech?
Well, you know, Facebook has its own interests, and you can't say that it's, you know, it was never intended to be entirely for the public.
Simple one though. Should a large social media platform be forced to platform your speech against what they want to? They don't want to platform your speech, but laws of the state say you have to protect this man's free speech.
I'm going to say no, actually. And I do wholeheartedly believe in freedom of speech, but Facebook is not ever intended to be a platform that, you know, is for free speech. I really encourage, I don't know how many people are watching you right now, but
450.
Well, Facebook is the wrong thing to be trying to get your information from. Like, when you start branching out to other forms of media, you realize just how severely tainted Facebook is. And that's why, you know, I've gone a long way to make sure that I'm not on really any form of social media.
Tell me more about what you thought of last week's protest, because actually while we're here, can you tell me why you you're here today?
Well, actually, it was my birthday on last week's protest, so I wasn't aware
Happy
of it.
birthday!
Thank you. Yeah, I was smoking a lot of weed, and so
okay.
I was very non-compass, not in the position to be fighting any police.
Would you believe you weren't alone? At the protest, there were a lot of people smoking a lot of weed.
Really?
At last week's protest.
I
yes.
should have been there.
This smell was, as someone who doesn't, quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
At points. So when I did end up getting a nice cloud of pepper spray up me, I thought
Shit, you got, what the fuck? That's
yeah, I got a taste for it now.
My God.
Yeah, last week was spicy. No, it was really spicy.
Did you do anything in particular that drew attention towards yourself?
Me?
Yeah, like, you know, I imagine not everyone got the pepper spray, so what happened?
A gentleman close by to me, I believe, had been throwing bottles at police earlier, not 5 or 10 minutes earlier, and he'd been identified as someone that needed to be brought in. A group of public order and riot charged forward from the line, grabbed him to pull him back. His comrades, whatever you want to call them, amigos, habibis, whatever you want to say, mates.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's just a gentleman here marching forward quite determinedly and has been stopped to ask why he's in the park. But to carry on with the story I was telling you about last week is that last week an officer carried him back and had to use pepper spray to get his habibis. Hey guys, detained for time number 6. Oh, this will be my 6th stop.
Oh, 6
I just walking with this guy.
There you go.
Yeah,
oh, good.
Well. He's an interesting chap to talk to, and so yeah.
Damn mad. Leno, are you official media, or are you just like a blogger or something?
I was just telling my viewers about what the difference is. What is the difference? And that is hard in this day and age on what the difference between the... How have I...
What brings you out today, buddy?
No, it's fine. I've just been shuffling my pockets so much that both of my ID cards...
Do you have ID, sir? What's your reason for being out during public orders lockdown, umbrella?
I was going for a bit of exercise.
Alright.
Oh, bye.
Caught up with this bloke?
Yeah, as in it's...
I saw this gentleman as...
Yeah, as in I was just
You don't
walking
know each
along.
other?
Oh, right. Hold on.
Do you have no ID on you?
I don't have any.
Sorry, mate.
What's this one of these is?
Emmy...
Press card?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see, there you
The
go.
Bruin like the soccer player.
How do you know about Kevin De Bruyne?
De Bruyne's a great player.
Oh, there you go. All I know is midfielder, Manchester City,
Yep, that's it.
and that's it. I don't know anything else.
He's a good bloke.
Believe it. Many people have told me.
It's COVID lockdown, I didn't know where you live to determine if
You
it's
doing your job today, Chris?
Yeah, it's my job.
Crazy, man. What's this?
Chris Discoveries. Oh, that's the International Federation of Journalists.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
M-E-double-A?
That's the Union of Journalists in Australia.
Okay, as you can see by my police uniform. At this point, you're not exercising, you're out in a public space during COVID lockdown.
No worries, thanks, Chris.
Oh, good, mate.
There you go, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Good camera, good view.
Oh, thanks, mate. Do you know about cameras much?
Unfortunately not, no.
No worries.
Can I show you something cool with this one?
Okay, your local area.
I'm going to zoom in.
So all it requires your identification.
Oh,
and
wait.
your address.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to zoom in some more. And I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to go even further
Okay.
to a lamp.
What we'll do is we'll look up on our computer
Yeah, look,
system,
that's a good
alright?
good camera,
So
man.
we can establish your identity.
You know, it's good.
Leave it to
I didn't hear any of that conversation. What was your?
So I was just speaking with a gentleman walking through the park who I thought believed was exercising, and he's just being stopped at the moment, being asked for ID, and doesn't have any ID on him. So the gentleman knows. You happy to step forward?
What was the consequence of you giving your ID before?
Well, as of this moment, across Sydney, you need to provide ID so that officers can ascertain whether you're within a 10-kilometre radius of your home. And if you don't, they have the power to not first detain you until which time they are confident as to your address, which can be for as long as 72 hours.
Because he knows the answer. He provided identification. He's the press, so he's all good. Proceed to Buena.
Okay, was there like a further fine or something?
So basically, if you can't prove your identity, I'm taking you to the police station for a fingerprint. I don't know who you are, mate. I can't give you a ticket because it's like ticket who, ticket no one.
And once we establish your identity, we can establish your address, and that was determined if you're inside your LGA. If you're not inside your LGA and you're outside of it, well, you can't do that. Unless you haven't provided a reasonable excuse. Okay.
I'm just going to come this one.
What is the LGA?
So where do you live?
In Pima.
Okay. Oh, cool. So I need to confirm that.
I'm just going to back over here so that there's a gentleman is just identifying himself to police. And I'm just going to let him carry on there. And he's just trying to work out what he wants to say to that. So, to explain to you, you have to identify yourself to police. Even more than that, you have to carry with yourself photo ID so the police can identify you. So I'm just going to. No, that's not what I'm here for. And that's true. Your papers indicate you are not allowed in this zone. That's the rules as they are. Police have the powers to stop and identify you, and if they are unable to confidently ascertain your identification, they can detain you until which time they're confident as to they know who your identity is. Many of you watching will think that it's unfair, unreasonable. Absolutely, that is. I understand your concerns about that, but these are the rules as they are right now. And what I keep on reminding people is, you can get outraged about the way things are, or go about working to change it. If you think that's unfair, work about appealing through the political process to change that, if you think you have the freedom to do so. The reality of today is that you don't. If you feel differently, you've got to work about changing it. I'm just going to spin around here. Just going to spin around this side. I am, yes.
You got your ID?
This will be stop number 7? 8? No. Guys, what are we up to? Am I on stop 7 or stop 8? I don't know.
You talking to someone else, are you?
I am live streaming at this time, hence the cameras bristling from every corner.
Might be just easier for hanging out yourself or something.
Yeah, I probably should. Just put it up here.
Just so people can see it.
Did you see me get stopped and identified? Just you want to do it again anyway? No worries.
No, I'm satisfied. Yeah, from the press. If you have it, I'm just saying you're not going to get stopped as much.
Yeah, maybe I should get like
see it.
a thing.
All the other guys have got like lanyards with it all hanging.
The struggle with some of it is, good. Can I continue speaking with you? Yeah, I'd love to.
And they just gave me a move
Thanks,
on
Ed.
order.
Okay, so you just got to move on order just now.
So I'm supposed
Okay.
return home.
I'm ju-
What's your origin, by the way? Like, are you part of the press or?
Let me give you my card so you can check out my socials later on. That's me, that's Chris. So tell me what happened in that interaction there, if you can. Anything you can tell me.
They just asked me for my ID, and I don't have my ID on me. So they got pretty frustrated with that. Then they asked for my address so that they could see if I was still within my LGA.
Yep.
Which is like a 10-kilometer radius.
Yep.
I was very reluctant to give them anything that would identify me because I just don't know what they're going to do with that.
Yep.
So yeah, after a lot of back and forth to the police and you seem to say that, there's not really too much further consequence, at least as of now.
You have to.
Okay.
If you don't, you'll be spending the night in lockup.
That's a bit fucked up.
It is what it is. While you were being stopped and detained, I reminded people that this is the rules that they are. And the way to go about changing them is through your MP, through a political process, through lobbying. Civil disobedience, one by one, won't change anything. It'll just end up with 5 people ending up in lockup.
That's true. If you want to continue this conversation, I do have a move on order, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, no worries.
I need to...
I'm following wherever you're going. You're probably the most interesting thing that has happened today.
Well, thank you. Not a lot of people consider me that interesting. Look, to be completely honest, I don't think that... I think that we're getting towards the end of where a political solution is still viable. I myself learn self-defense, and I'm not going to say that I can take on 2 police at a time, but I think it's worth getting into the mindset that we have to be defensive as well.
Okay.
I think that we're not too many steps away from things becoming quite dark in terms of the relationship with the general public and the police. Maybe that's just me being cynical.
Possibly. I haven't seen groups of people band together, but coming back to that interaction that happened just there, they asked you for your ID and you didn't have any on you, and you provided...
I told them my address and my full name, and then they were able to look that up in their system, and that confirmed that I was who I said I was, and I was within 10 kilometres of my LGA, and so there was no further issue, and they just gave me a move on order. So basically, if I return to this area within 6 hours, then I could be...
Yep, sure. Anyway, I'm just following you. If you return to this area in 6 hours...
Then I would be committing an offence.
Right, okay, cool. Did they give you a move on direction or a move on order? Because I stepped away as soon as that started to escalate, just to give you some...
I think it was a move on order.
Okay.
What's the difference between a direction and an order?
It's subtle but important, but if you think it was an order, treat it as an order, and I'd suggest, not that I am not a lawyer that seeks legal advice, I'm not a solicitor, you should follow it, and as it's interpreted as seen by these officers, you need to be consistently moving away from the area that you've been directed to. So if you stop and turn around at some point, and even take just a couple of steps, that can be used as that kind of thing. Okay. So if you want to not be part of a scene,
So I like your way of recording so far, where you've been very focused on events that are happening right now.
Try to.
I want to hear your opinion on what you think the future is with this, and what we can do to really help things.
I'm 2 things. I'm pro-protest and I'm anti-mob. Are you crossing? Yep, I'll cross with you. I'm pro-protest and I'm anti-mob, and that's a remarkably simple agenda to have. Yeah. I like covering protests, and I want to go to protests and hear what people have to say.
Okay.
And I stream them for a long period of time, and I interview people, not just listen to the speeches, to try and understand why people have been so angry to get out of their homes over a cause.
Yeah.
There's no time for narrative cuts in there for me to try and skew things. And as a video editor, with the right music, the right angles, the right everything, you can manipulate what has happened very powerfully. Cameras and video editors, you can skew...
that photo of the dude punching a horse?
Correct.
Yeah, the video
Correct.
tells a very different story.
So on the other side, I hate mobs. It is a absolute. I'm unabashed to be unbiased when it comes to a mob. Whatever their cause is, I'm against. If they're for chocolate chip, I'm against chocolate chip. If there's a mob trashing the city and beating people up for vanilla, then I love strawberry.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I am a complete reactionary if you're a violent mob running around trashing cities.
Yeah.
Um,
exactly. Again, I know I'm a broken record here, but I really think it's important to keep in mind the difference between force and violence, because, say for instance, a perfect example is the American Revolution. I would say that people were killed during the American Revolution, but it was not violent. There was only force, because, there were other people who were impinging on others' rights. So, taking it to present day, I really think that whoever is standing up for personal freedom is doing the right thing, and they have the ability to use lethal force if needed.
I quite liked Cornwallis as a character, but that's okay.
What?
General Cornwallis.
Oh, yeah.
Of the Brits. I quite respected him as his biography. So, but coming back to that, do you think you'll be back for another protest in future?
Yeah. My housemate, who I'm leasing off, said that she'd kick me out if I went to a protest, so I'm going to have to keep that quiet. But yes, if there's a protest, I would like to be there.
You don't have to answer that. What's your opinion on the vaccines? What's your opinion on mandatory vaccines? Door to door, coming to your home saying, have you been vaccinated? If they can't verify your vaccine status, well, that's it. Boys in blue are coming in.
I think that we should take, a feather out of the hat of France and do exactly what they're doing now if mandatory vaccines become a thing.
What's that?
Rioting quite severely.
Rising. Okay, so you're...
rioting.
Rioting. So, well, see, I'm anti-mob. Where are you headed from here?
I'm continuing this way. I'm heading back to the but I'm happy to, just...
Chat on the way. Yeah, we're heading back. For those watching at home, we're heading back towards Town Hall at the moment. This gentleman just got a... how would you...
A move on.
A move on order. And I'm just chatting with him as we go, because this is one of the more interesting things to have happened outside of watching groups of police wander around looking for protesters.
Yeah.
And
you asked about the vaccine, and well, look, I think that there's just not enough information on. Hey, I've had a move on order from. Oh, you did.
So I'll keep interviewing this gentleman who's just had a move on direction. And what were you saying just before that?
Yeah, like if you look on the, the AstraZeneca or the Pfizer website, they first say that the vaccine is unapproved. That's coming straight from the horse's mouth. The vaccine is unapproved. It hasn't gone through phase 3 testing. And, my sister studied virology. She's a big fan of the vaccine. And so when I asked her, well, what is the normal testing period for a vaccine? It's many, many years, so that they can understand what the long-term effects are. I'm not confident with any of this. It's something that's frequently said, but it's true, is that all of the companies behind this have legal immunity to any adverse effects that the vaccine might have.
I've got 2 comments here in front of me saying that they've got rooms for you if you get kicked out.
Cheers. Thanks. Go over that, boss.
One in Jarvis Bay. So I'd actually take that off. I'd take that up. Screw that. Tell your house, mate. Someone from Jarvis Bay wants me.
Yeah, you've got some really nice followers. Well, thank you a lot for that. I do really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you, Barry. I'm sure if this gentleman gets in straight on his way back to his home, following his move on direction, he'll say something on his way out. I'm going to catch up on some comments here. You're going to get 5 years in the clink at least, says Derek. I'm sorry. Yes, you will. I'm sorry. It's been decided. The comments have decided. I understand you might be seeking for some kind of due process, but here, with the viewers, they've decided that you're going to get... one viewer has decided 5 years.
It's inflammatory. Let's not worry about it.
Oh, I don't know. Hard labour, you come out more of a man, right? Hair on your chest. 5 years for self-defense. No fight. 10 to 15 years
Yeah, I know what I said about self-defense is, you know, that is ridiculous at this point, and you know, the answer is not, you know, getting into any sort of violent confrontation. But I do think that people should have that in the back of their mind, that, you know, we can't be assured that there's going to always be a political solution to this. I feel much more confident just in the way that I am, knowing that I can defend myself physically, and I don't say that in an arrogant, trying to be masculine way. It's the truth. I can defend myself against one person. You know, it's always many more than one person when it's the police, so it's still useless.
So I'm going to head back to the park. Okay. So lovely to speak with you.
Lovely speaking with you, and yeah, thank you for your comments. Cheers.
I'll see you around.
See ya.
See you, mate. And if you're particularly nice with me, I'll respect you and try and keep you off camera. If you want to have a conversation with me, that's it. If you're filming me while that's happening, hey guys, how you going? That's it. If you're filming me while that's happening, then I won't. Now, provisions. You got 5 guys and 1 2-piece feed. How are 5 officers going to share 1 2-piece feed? I don't know. I don't know. Does one get the potato and gravy and one get the chips, and maybe you split it that way? Who gets the drink? These are the important pressing questions of our time when there's absolutely nothing happening. There's absolutely nothing happening. I'm commenting on fast food here. This is one of the quietest streams I've ever had to do, and do you see how I'm giving the karate chop as I'm talking like some cunt of Italian? And just because I'm saying Italian doesn't make me racist, but I don't mind if it is racist, Gruz. There is no... Shadi, there is nothing happening. There is nothing happening. There are just police everywhere. There's nothing happening. The most interesting thing that happened was I just found that gentleman that I was speaking with who had a move on order. And then I spoke with him for a bit. That's it. 1 move on order. I have not been able to speak to anyone. See this guy? This lady? Bending over like that? That's exactly how I feel. There's nothing happening. I'm covering nothing. Makes me want to start protesting myself. Protesting that there isn't a protest. Is that a thing? I can make it a thing. I can protest that there's no protest. You can't tell me I can't. You guys, snacks? Everyone's got the snacks out? It's snack time. KFC is by far the most popular. KFC, and there's the KFC there. This is going to turn into a snack stream. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else to talk about. We're going to talk about, for the next... How long is the rest of this stream? We're going to talk for the rest of the stream, which I normally do 1.5 hour streams. So, for the next 20 minutes, this stream, we'll be talking about what snacks we can see by the officers here. Hello. So, overwhelmingly in this district, this is the KFC district. Oh my God, this is the most boring content ever. This is the most boring content ever. We're talking about snacks. And you want to know why I'm talking about snacks? Because there's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else happening here. There is no protest, and I cover protests. This is more of a police turnout than some of the smallest... Just what you're looking at here is more of a police turnout than some of the smallest protests I've seen where I've been attacked. Oh, hold on. I hear an officer stopping and detaining someone. We're just outside Town Hall Station here, outside the Woolworths, and he's being stopped for... I don't exactly know what reason. It's just going to be a stop and identify. So we are 2 blocks away from Hyde Park, and this gentleman is being stopped for his ID. It is a police picnic day. Look, I'm sorry, it really is. Okay, we're going to keep moving around here, but we'll keep an eye on as we keep moving. I'll get stopped as I go past this one. So the sergeant that stopped me earlier just said, be prepared to that guy. Be prepared to be stopped a lot in the city. Yep, that's what will happen if you're in the city today. Right, back to the snack stream. What do we got? We got Monster... Okay. See, this is how you know that they're Odin. They got the Monster energy going. They need the energy. When you're getting on and crashing... There you go. They've got the Monster energy going on. So they're close to Woolies. They don't have time to go down to KFC. And inside that can, you've got enough calories to do what you need to do when you're part of Odin. There you go. Oh. Another 20 minutes. A gentleman randomly shouting, plausibly homeless. No, homeless, not a protester. To see just how far they've been pulled in, Southwest Metro represent. Hey guys, how you going? Making our way back to Hyde Park at the moment. Pigeons and seagulls everywhere. Yes, there is. If you're hoping for something to be happening, there is nothing happening. I said at the beginning of this stream, there is just large groups of police on pretty much every street corner, and otherwise nothing else happening. Are the stations open yet? Nope. Town Hall Station was not open. You couldn't get into. I'll come up here and we'll see if we can get into St James or Museum, and I'll show you at both ends. But I don't think you can either. The trams, they're of half of the trams that I saw, none had passengers on them. So I think they would reach something like Central Station, and then at Central Station they'd be told, "You've got to get out. You've got to get out and walk from here," to try and minimise the number of people coming into the city. Do seagulls spread it? Plausibly. If you're tuning in and you're hoping for, are there reports of protesting happening anywhere else? Nope. Haven't heard of one. Coppers in the media called the protest? Maybe. Maybe. Don't know. Park Street, back to Hyde Park, South Hyde Park, North Hyde Park. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. The most interesting thing that these officers are looking for now is where to get snacks and where to get a Starbucks. That's it. There's nothing here. Where are they going to go to? They're going for coffee. That is what this stream has been reduced to. I am watching police officers determine their coffee choices. Venti latte, perhaps? Correct. I am so sorry that this is such an ordinary stream, but at the same time, we're locked at home. What are you going to do? This might be the brightest amount of sunshine that you get to see today. This would be the closest that you get to the city, is through me. So here you go. Park Street, looking west. Looking east. Thanks, Ashley. Half of what I'm doing is entertainment to try and pad out the gaps. Otherwise, it's a very quiet moment. Oh, yeah. Some of these officers have been here since 6 a.m. They really have been here since 6 a.m. Oh, no, they're feeling on... Look, anyone who's judging officers for taking a bench seat during lunch, come on. Who's going to... Hey, guys. Who's going to stand up for 10 hours straight and then not need to take a bit of a bench seat? Especially if you're ordinarily a desk jockey and you've been asked to come into the city and come and do this. You're going to take a knee at points. Well, maybe not a knee, but you take a bench. Did they check in with the QR code? I think so. Dog squad. It's a falcon too. Are there dogs inside? There are dogs inside. And they're good boys, but they don't get pats. 2 dogs, 3 dogs. Undercover dog. Unmarked dog. Secret dog. Did anyone watch Inspector Rex back in the day? That was a good one.
Hello.
Hey,
How are you?
good, good. Snacks? No, just water so far. It's become a snack patrol. Yep. No, you're right, you're right. Bravo dismounting just there. Have you had snacks yet?
We're all good, thanks, mate.
Oh, I'm not offering, there's nothing else happening, so I'm literally streaming what the officers are having for lunch.
Oh, okay.
That's literally it. Oh, good.
No worries.
No one's had lunch here. We've got some Coca-Cola. Hey, guys. Yes, that is what my stream is reduced to. Lunch patrol. And you know what? That's fine. I'm fine with that. Oh, it's lunch patrol, and guess what I brought with me? Spices for Strike Force Seasoned. Ugh. 10 more minutes. I'm winding up in 10 more minutes because this is a joke. There we go. For those who need some seasons, I brought some spices for Strike Force Seasoned. You have to laugh at these situations. And don't think that I think all of this is a complete joke. There were guys here last week who need to be locked up and detained, who can't just run around bashing people, whether they're cops or individuals or me. They need to be locked up. Just because I wander around with a tube of garlic powder and say, hey, Strike Force Seasons, you need some spices, I brought the spice, doesn't mean I don't think the police need to do an important job in find, detain, arrest, charge, and prosecute violent offenders. Absolutely. I still like to laugh. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. While getting the spices out, I dropped my fist of fascism. This is one that I get out when it comes time for offences to carry on. And I did drop it. There was a very kind gentleman that ran after me and said, hey, you dropped this. You know what's even kinder? He did that in the middle of a pandemic. Oh, I'd love to. No, I can't interview him. So I dropped my glove, my beautiful black glove, to represent the fist of fascism, while I was getting my spices out for Strike Force Season. See, this is an entertainment show, guys. And a man picked it up off the street and ran after me and said, hey, you've dropped your glove. That's very kind of him. Very kind of him indeed. For all he knows, this could have been a glove for a dual slap. Yes, it is a joke. Guys, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. What am I going to do? There's nothing going on. So what am I going to say?
I also want him to be able to move around comfortably.
Yeah.
You live in the city.
Yeah.
Officers taking the bench. There's, if you're hoping for something to be here, there's not. I saw approximately 45 minutes ago a gentleman and the only gentleman I found who came for today's protest. I was walking along and I just said, hey, how you going? He just looked the sort. You get a nose for it after a while. And I was like, hey, how you going? I was like, would you like to continue exercising as we go? And got to have a good chat with him. Libertarian, against mandatory vaccines, things like that. All very good. Not with his garlic breath. Oh, thank you. Very good. Have a look around, speak. Meeting of some honchos happening. Speakerphone phone call. Don't know. But yeah, if there were, in terms of forward command, gents, these are the three who are determining what's happening down here, and they're going to say the same thing that I'm saying, which is not much going on. Do I believe in free and informed choice? The alternative is worse. And that's an important one. We often come into decision making with this, I believe in this thing. I believe the alternative is worse. And should I go? I can't talk to Steggles. He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to talk right now. Steggles doesn't want to talk right now. He doesn't want to talk. I gave him a nod earlier on. He's exhausted. Last week sucked for him. Last week sucked for everyone on New South Wales Police Force. Last week sucked for protesters too. I don't know who it was good for. The only people who really won last week are people who came for a fight. They got a fight. Everyone who was trying to push the movement peacefully looked like they were a bunch of mobsters. And the mobsters looked like exactly what they wanted to be. The New South Wales Police Force ended up looking impotent, surprised, shocked and underserved. There wasn't a one for what he was. Steggles doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to talk. No, he doesn't want to. I'm not going to bother him. He doesn't want to be bothered. He's a good man. Everyone tries to be a good man. Homebush was hard last year, and he learned a bit from that. All right, let's have a look at some more comments. Where we go? Everyone dropping dead of the variants and they're eating takeaway food. Oh, that's an interesting point. Is it? I don't know. Maybe. It's about disability life years, isn't it? Enjoyed this live stream. Thanks, mate. Welcome, Geraldine. Good on you. Do we care if they washed hands? Don't know. Maybe. They're putting $50 on race number 5 at Albion Park. Can you bet in the city? Where's the nearest TAB? I don't know. They're looking pretty bored. Yep. One of them could be positive. Possibly. Steggles gets paid $400K. No. Ooh, maybe he does. Does he? It's good money. It's good money. Maybe he does. Hey, should I use a public water fountain? No, I won't do that. Everyone is very nice in the chat. Yes, yeah, I like that. If people get too mean on the chat, you can disagree with people's views on the chat. Go for it. If you start ridiculing other people, I'll ban. But ridicule their views. Don't ridicule what they have to say. Ridicule what they have to say, but don't ridicule the people. I feel sad for the soulless creatures in blue, the order followers. My Opa led Nazis in Europe and would turn over in his grave for this. Alsjeblieft. It's Nick speaking about his father coming from Netherlands. That was a difficult time. Hunger winter. 44, and they still were policing things pretty hard. 400K might be more than Gladys. That's true, yeah? Do a shuffle dance. No. Join Bondi Loop to be ridiculed. Yes. The bird has shrinked. Yes. Good night from London. See you, Geraldine. Let's see the... No. Stogo's got his hands in his... Oh, don't you love it? Is that Detective Inspector? I don't know. He kind of just spun around. He's like, oh, he's filming me? Yeah, guys. We're... What you do affects the city. Nice jacket. So yes, we're looking at you. And you can really see some of the scale when you look down here of the officers. But all dispersed, looking around. Let's head back up to, and I won't get too close to this. This is where staging, what do they call it? Like a staging command? I'm going to call it a staging command. If you're hoping for exciting views, this isn't it. There is nothing happening at this protest. Absolutely nothing. This is empty. This is just a police presence. Okay. I might put my glove of fascism away. I might put that away. It might offend some of the boys. There we go. When things get... Wait, no, I don't know him. Let's check up on the media, and then we'll have a look at staging command. Again, this is a long stream. This is not going to be exciting. That's because there was maybe one protester, and I maybe found the one protester before he got taken away. And that's it. And the media are now going to... What do we got? Is this a tech hub? Who is that? News Hub. Never heard of him. Hopefully you've heard of them. NZ News saying, we don't know where or when. She's sounding very tense. She's saying we're waiting for a sign. She's making it sound like... She's drumming up drama. She's like, police are waiting for this thing to happen. It's like, it's not happening. When I started the stream, I was in a car. Guys, there's nothing happening. If you're watching this because you're waiting for something to happen, there's nothing going to happen. I can't even dangle anything in front of you. All I've got is spices. That said, what we do have is gear. So we've got the Aperture 120D on there. Yep, so the angle very nicely they're going to get. They've gotten rid of the sun here. Let's have a look at this for gaffing. We're using this as a bit of shadow, which is going to cast on the talent. And we're going to use this light to cast some direct light onto it with the background of the police unit and St. Mary's Cathedral. And when they're ready, they're going to jack that light way up. And you'll get some nice shine on that. All right, that's the media side. News Hub's talking to police. Now, News Hub, I think, is a NZ news channel. I didn't know you could talk to police and get tips like that. That's quite nice. So she just went and spoke with one of the Stripes constable. Sergeant, no, it's constable. Got that. So, staging command here. Let's do a loop around staging command and illustrate that. Again, if you are hoping for some exciting protest, something to kick off, nothing is happening. Nothing will happen. The ratio of police to protesters is, I would say, close to 1,000 police are here, and the ratio is 1,000 to 1. We're just doing a ring around staging command. You can see the command bus, or public order and riot command, and I'll give you a pan down here and you can see just the queue of police vehicles that have shown up. Plainclothes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Plenty of desks. No public access in there. Guys, up. See ya. And then that's just a line down there. Yeah. And so down here, Parliament House, just to the north here. Now, someone asked me if the train stations were open. Let's have a look here. There's 6 new cases. News Hub is New Zealand News. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, that was trying to make a story out of nothing. Yes, yeah. There is nothing here. There's nothing to be made a story of. I haven't seen that vehicle before. Now, can I get into St. James train station? Let's find out. I hope my signal keeps up. If I lose it, well, honestly, we're not missing out on much. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha ha. The answer is no. You can't get out of St. James train station. Let's have a look. Why aren't they wearing masks? Not scared. Also, it's very difficult to catch it outdoors. We haven't even had a case of that in Australia. That said, you still try to because it just makes people comfortable. Pigeons will start Unless they can't tell porcupines, yeah. Phil Welch says riveting. Yeah, this isn't. Guys, there's not a lot happening. At one point I was commenting on police officers' lunch choices. Can you breathe okay with your mask on? Not when I start to double time it and run across town, no. What if you don't want to get it? Just become a policeman or work at Bunnings, you'll never get it. Well, they say do not turn up to protest in the CBD. People didn't. I only found one who did, and he was given a move on direction. Move on order, I believe. Tell the police you've heard a protest tomorrow too. No, that's not my job. Park looks clean. It does look pretty clean. Imagine every single taxpayer stopped work for 24 hours to send government for a strong message. For first, you'd need a hierarchy. This is boring. Why is this bloke walking around? Because there's nothing happening. I cover protests and there's no protest. So I came to cover anyway. And mainly I'm covering police. So I'm covering a police protest. I think the police are protesting themselves. In some ways they are, actually. The police are protesting themselves because the turnout wasn't big enough last week, so they're turning out bigger this week to protest that they themselves didn't turn out big enough last week. Maybe, who knows. Thanks for being our eyes in the city. Time to go home. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is shortly. Might get a snack of some kind. Honcho's still where they were? Top command? No, don't know where they are. Not all of Mounted have gone home yet. Police and the media created this protest. I'd agree. Police minister looks like a buffet. I don't know about that, but he certainly uses the word buffet a lot. This is a set-up protest. Yeah, I'd agree with that. How you going? Glad to see access locked. Yeah, never would see a city like this. I haven't seen it like this since APEC in 2008, and that was a long time ago. All over southeast Queensland now in lockdown. Sorry to hear. There is no protest. Lion set up. Yep, done an amazing job. Thank you, Sally. How can you possibly compare millions of people to governments applying a duty of care? That's a good question. Telco and FB shareholders, thank you for your efforts. Aw, thanks, Dallas. Ask police where your nephew can send his CV to do work experience. No, you do that. 5G antenna. I'm sure there was a 5G antenna on one of the cars. Can you find the horse from last week to interview? To Brooke. Okay. So how do these horses have badges? Do police horses have badges? Let's go and find out. I'm going to go and check out one of the Mounteds over here, and I'm going to see if they have badges. Let's see if we can interview Tobruk. Tobruk was injured last week with a hand or fist to the nose. I'm going to see if maybe this is Tobruk here. Maybe. I'm going to find out. He's getting some orders at the moment, so I won't get too close. But do horses have badges? I don't know. I think Steggles is sending the Mounted home, just having a chat here. There we go. Do police horses have badges? Is this Tobruk? Oh, well. That's not Tobruk. Alright. See you later. Alright. No, I can't find the horse from last week to interview. Tobruk isn't here. I asked if that was Tobruk. That's not Tobruk. What can I say, but it's a horse's life. So sad to see empty streets. I can understand that too. Communists, yep. Liberal government in lockdown, good point. Waste of taxpayer money, maybe. Hopefully he's got some brains. I try to have some brains. Or maybe I don't. I'm trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator. Don't need brains these days. Alright, guys. Here's an ordinary one. Good to see a non-biased view. I try to always bring a spicy view. Respect to the police. Look, there's doing it there. Coffee's over here. No KFC yet. Stream is very delayed. That's true. Police minister is a buffet. Well, maybe. I wonder if that's the same poodle from earlier. No idea. All right. That's it. That's enough. That's enough of this noise. This charade. This theatre. There was no protest. There was one guy. This is silly. Anyone who wanted to come to this protest was silly. All of this is silly. We're all going home. Everyone's going home. This is boring. I had a nice walk, but it's boring. It's the worst. The media's trying to drum something out. I think it's like, we don't know when the protesters are going to appear. Nothing's happening. We're not going to drum anything out of nothing. I'm going to talk about police snacks. I'm going to talk about police horses' lives. And I'm going to have a snack myself. And I'm going to season it. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching a drive stream. This is very boring and ordinary. See you next time.